doesn't get any better than this. Joining us now for Top That Trade, Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network contributor, and Alan Nuckman, an options trading pro, here for our Trader Game round number 1, BBB, bargain buybacks. Lots happening in this market. What are your steals and deals?
Buy low. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Buy low, but is it going to go lower? That's the question. But it looks like Apple and Starbucks, production, is getting back to normal in China. So maybe that's the worst of the beginning.
Yeah, I think the smart money is starting to buy, not sell. In fact, if you look at every demand destruction event we've had over the last 50 years, if you would have sold during the panic, you would have regretted it just a few months later. So I absolutely believe that these rich people have the right idea about this. Now, admittedly, they have money. They can risk more money than we can. So I'm not saying everybody just needs to ride this out.
So some activities are being resumed in China, which obviously started this whole issue.
Right.
But what it's interesting is that if you look at a couple of indexes out of Shanghai, that you're seeing that they're at 2-year highs. So somebody's got the idea of putting money to work over there, and they're stimulating their economy and so forth. So will that flow over to us now that they're getting more calm? Will that make us more calm?
I think that at least gives you a template that this is not going to be years, it's going to be months. And if that's the case, bye, 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 bye.
Round number 2, drink up. There's an oversupply of grapes on the market, so wine prices are on the way down. All right, what other industries might be seen as having too much of a good thing?
Oil right now, right? Oil because of the slowdown and stuff. But listen,
you can't drink oil. Where I come from, I drink the wine. I don't drink the oil. So that's good for the consumer.
Actually, the true story about that is, you know why they call it sweet oil? They used to taste it when it came out of the ground for an impurity.
That's not true.
That is true. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. You ever see the old gusher?
We need to have a ticker on the bottom to fact check, Phil.
Yeah, fact check that.
So this is the best. This is the best pricing in 5 years when it comes to wine because there's overproduction. They had a lot more acreage in 2016, and now it's starting to produce grapes, and grapes produce wine when you smash them. And they're saying that the best value in 20 years for wine right now.
Well, and this is a good thing because I'll
buy
tell you,
low again. I think we come back to the idea: buy low and stock up.
Well, this is a commodity. Yeah, absolutely.
But don't drink your inventory.
Well, and I'll tell you why we have an oversupply. Because a few years, it's partly the weather. Part of it is climate change, supposedly.
All right.
No, that's true.
Get back to wine.
No, that's true.
Okay.
No, they're saying that the climate change, they're producing more grapes. Right, exactly.
Round number 3, dollar power. The U.S. dollar is crashing of late, but billionaire Warren Buffett is sitting on $128 billion. What do you think about that, Money Central?
Yeah, so the dollar has finally turned lower.
Yes, it has.
But the question that she asked is why, if Mr. Buffett has said that he always is looking at value, we've seen more value, I think, come out now with this sell-off. Why is he not putting $128 billion to work? Why is he not buying anything?
Because nobody's selling. That's a big part of it. Really.
You need a seller and a buyer?
Yeah, you need a seller or a buyer. In fact, Warren's been looking at a lot of companies. He tried to buy a couple companies. He was kind of rebuffed it from a couple companies. He ended up getting
There are unfriendly takeovers all the time.
Well, there are. He can do that, but I don't think that's his style. You don't see too many Warren Buffett unfriendly takeovers that I'm aware of. Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay, so
usually,
I was looking at his formula that he uses to buy companies, and when he decides the markets are at good value, he looks at the Wilshire 5000 market cap, compares it to GDP. Now that helps him figure out where they are in the cycle, and obviously he can look big picture or long term. But it's amazing he's got so much money that's not at work. But I think your man, Mr. President, is getting his wish. He's knocking that dollar down, and we're seeing interest rates continue to get closer and closer to zero. There's a 80% chance that there's going to be another half-point cut by the March meeting.
So what you're saying is buy gold, baby, and don't fight the Fed.
On to your bonus round question for today. It involves millennials. What's the favorite among millennials? Is it chicken noodle, alphabet soup, or tomato soup?
I would say alphabet because a lot of them don't know how to spell, and this works for them.
Why do you have to always go after the kids?
Why?
Leave the kids alone. They don't know how to spell.
Hey, they're the ones that say, "Hey, boomer," all the time.
Right. Well, they say that to you when walking on the street. No, I'm not.
Yes,
no, I'm not.
You're
Technically,
not
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Well,
you are.
You're born.
You get walking on the street.
Wait a second.
You can't ask a gentleman his age. That's not polite. Oh. Let's get back to what they like. Kids like tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches.
The answer is tomato soup.
All right, there you go. Good job. Good job.
See,
he knows.
I'm closer to their age.
Not by much.
Thanks, guys. For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.